I think that's more of a lie to yourself. The reality is we think it's psychologically that makes us feel better, but that's only because we told us that if I go look at this, I'll feel better.
Or whatever.
That's the only reason why you feel better.
Yeah.
I'm a real estate investor. I'm sharing everything I know about Subject to in a way that complete beginners understand. This guy is John Pratt, our fearless novice, diving headfirst into the world of Subject to real estate deals. Watch as I start him on the path. I'm your guide, Kyle Kargas, and this is Subject to Real Estate Secrets, the path from moron to millionaire. Welcome to Subject to Real Estate Secrets, the path from moron to millionaire. Buying a house subject to is when you go and buy a house, you take over the existing loan that the seller had, they get to move on, they keep it in their name, you get to own a house, win-win, everyone's happy. We have been going through this process with John Pratt from the beginning, and we're under contract for a house. I shared that with you last week.
Which is crazy to think about, but so glad.
Yeah, your first deal, right? Yeah. So your potential first deal.
Yeah.
We talked about briefly. We let everyone know that we were under contract. There's obviously some hiccups that could happen.
Sure, yeah.
Etc. You have a few other possible deals in the works.
Yeah.
Nothing else under contract yet. But today, I want to talk about, okay, what happens next, right? So you are making the calls, and then you turn it over to me to close the deal, to lock it up.
Yes.
Right? So you're not doing that part of the work, but yet I am sharing that part of the story with you of how that's going and everything, because you don't make money unless the deal gets locked up.
Yeah.
And then the next step is disposition. What to do with the house, right? Do we sell it to somebody else? If we don't sell it to somebody else, that could be, or if we do, that's how you make money. So I want to share that part of the story with you. Or if I buy it and I bring the money, that's how you would get paid, or et cetera, et cetera. In fact, I want to talk specifically about something we planted a seed on last episode.
Yeah.
Okay. But another way that you can still make money, right? There are so many ways to make money in real estate. It is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And you should never just think this is the only way. Okay. You go out and get a lead. Think about it. When you set me up for an appointment, there's times where we think statistically it's going to be a subject to deal.
Yeah.
Right? Why? Because of the filters that you put in place, because of low equity, et cetera.
Yeah.
Did you know sometimes I call and it's like, no, the equity actually is different than what we had, was predicted.
Yeah, sometimes they're like, actually, there's no mortgage on this one, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, data sometimes is just wrong, right? Or they're like, no, actually, that won't work for this house, but there's this other house.
Yep.
And so it can all change very quickly. And it could go from a subject to seller financing, to a cash deal, to, right? I'm signing a Novation paperwork, right? Because I have a deal right now that I was going to flip, right? But we had to negotiate a lien on there. It was a $200,000 lien that we got negotiated down to $35,000, which is great.
Yeah.
But when we ran the numbers, there was no lien.
Okay.
So there's a $35,000 difference still.
Yeah.
Right? Plus the market has softened a little bit, so there's some downward pressure on how high I think we could sell the house for.
Yeah.
So we are switching to not buying it and doing a flip, because if I buy it, what? There's closing costs when I buy it and expenses. I'm going to go get a hard money loan to buy it, right? Yeah. No one buys things with real cash anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's loan fees, there's massive interest that I have to pay throughout the way. And then I have to pay for all the renovations and et cetera. And then when I sell it, there's going to be some more expense as well. Versus a novation, right, is basically just a partnership. So the owner keeps the ownership of the home, keeps paying the current mortgage that's in place, and I come in with the crew, and I could still do the whole remodel and sell it, but now there is more risk. There's a trade-off for doing it this way. I get the benefit of not having to pay closing costs. I get the benefit of not having to go out and get a new loan, et cetera.
Because it wasn't sold at that point.
Because it wasn't sold. But if I bring a bunch of money in, I'm putting money into someone else's house that they own, and all I have is paperwork to protect me.
Yeah.
So there's more risk, right? In this case, I actually think the best plan is going to be to go in empty the house, clean it up, do a few little repairs, and then just re-put it back on the market and not sell it like a remodeled home, but sell it as just a good condition dated home.
Okay.
Okay.
And no one's living there.
And no one's living there, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what the plan is. And so I have way less at risk because I'm not putting as much money into the deal, right? So we're going to be doing that. And so that's just one other method that sometimes you pivot to.
People don't see that method because if a normal investor was looking at the house, they'd be like,
Yeah. If all I
Pass.
looked at the house was for a fix and flip
Yeah.
or for a subject to, I'm going to miss everything else, right? I have 3 houses this month that actually, 2 of them that would not have sold unless I find the right buyer. The interest rates were too high. They're not houses that I want.
Yeah.
They're not houses that most other investors want. I sold them one. I take that back. I had 3 houses. One I'm selling to a buyer, a family, right?
Yeah.
And I'm actually helping them. I'm giving them a loan on the house.
yeah.
Right? So if I wouldn't have thought of it that way, there wouldn't have been money to be made. 2 other houses, the interest rates are too high, but an investor is actually buying it because of depreciation. They don't cash flow, which makes it harder to dispo and sell to somebody. But there are people that need houses and need to buy houses for different reasons.
He'll worry about cash flow later. Next
He'll
year,
worry about
2
cash
years,
flow later,
3
right?
years.
And he can get in with such almost $0, right? Except for probably paying my fee,
Yeah.
right? Where it just makes sense for him. So pretty cool. You got to think there's all these other options. And in the conversation, that's why I don't tell people, hey, go jump in and start closing deals. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, when somebody calls, it's not just, hey, let me explain this one structure of this type of deal. No, I need to listen and know when I need to pivot and say, you know what? Actually, I don't think this structure is the right one for you.
Yeah.
I think we should do this. This makes more sense with what your sellers are wanting, right? So anyways, getting back to this specific deal,
Yeah.
the one in Albuquerque, which is the house that we have under contract, your first deal, we are now into the disposition phase. So you're not helping do dispositions.
Yeah.
We could sell it to somebody else and assign it and make some money, which would be wholesaling.
Yeah.
I could buy it, right? But there's other options we could do, okay? So today I want to talk about what some of those options are, because I know everybody else is watching that if they don't have this experience, they're wondering, what are all the options?
Right.
What could you do with this house? How can you make money, etc.? Okay? I think you're curious and want to know as well. And I think a lot of people are also in the same boat as you. Is some of the options I want to make sure we talk about is, well, what if John wants to get more involved?
Yeah.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I hinted at it last week, but we're going to go more into it. And I have some questions for you. That way we can kind of figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ready to talk?
Yeah, we were talking just a little bit before. Before we started taping, and I'm like, yeah, let's pull these threads. Let's see what they're about.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
a lot of it will go over my head.
Yeah, and this is going to be a great episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but I'm going to put the pause super quick.
Okay.
Because what I still want to do is I still want you to report back.
Oh yeah.
About your homework, right? Your statistics
stats.
for the week.
So, blasts, 172 blasts.
Okay.
Responses just under 10%, so 13.
Okay.
So that's under 10%. Conversations, or let's do dials first. I have that flipped. 47. Dials.
Okay.
Conversations, 16 of those 47. That's about 1 in 3.
Yeah, that's pretty good ratio.
That's almost exactly 1 in 3.
That's a really good ratio.
So 2 voicemails, 1 pickup, not bad. And then 4 appointments, so that's just under 3. Every 4 conversations.
Every 4 conversations, you get a appointment.
Get an appointment, yeah.
That's pretty good.
So that's like 13 dials per appointment, or something like that.
I think that's pretty close.
Right around there.
Are you kidding me? Like, that's the thing. Think about it from this point of view. If you could visualize your list of numbers.
Yeah.
All you have to do is call 13, and you basically almost guarantee an appointment.
Yeah,
Statistically
13,
for you,
yeah.
right now.
Yeah. If I go out of state in a market I'm not familiar with, I might.
Maybe it goes up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe it goes up to like 20 or something.
Sure.
But on some of this, I remember I was going through an old list, like from a couple weeks ago, that still had, a lot of them were still on the market.
Yeah.
They're hurting.
Yep. And now with more time, right,
Yeah.
they might be more motivated.
Exactly.
Okay. So what's interesting is what I love is statistics, and these KPIs are so important
Yeah.
because it gives you knowledge and information.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it easier or harder to stay motivated knowing that in 13 calls you could get an appointment?
Way harder if I didn't know that. Because I'm just calling into the void at that
Right.
point. Like, is it going to be 500 calls? Is it going to be
Yeah.
3 calls? Nobody knows.
this call
it's a
matter?
surprise. Yeah. Does this call matter? Yeah. Every 13 matters.
Massive,
Yeah.
right? And you know it's tailored around you.
Yeah.
That's why we do this. Because John, when you're on the days where you're struggling and you're like, oh, I don't want to make calls today,
Just 7 more and there's an appointment.
you just go before you even make calls. You're like, my average is 13.
Yeah.
Let me just push through 13, even if it goes longer. When it goes longer and you're at 20, you're like, that's okay because I know I'm going to get all of a sudden 2 appointments.
Makes the 21st
pretty
more
quick,
likely. Yeah.
right? And you're like, yeah, that's what, and it makes it more reality and feasible.
Yeah.
And so then guess what? You now show up every day to go and do that.
Yeah. And every call. Like, if I'm just like cruise control, I'm just that guy now. To them, I'm just some guy.
Yeah.
You know. But if I'm like on it because I know that 13th call is on average,
Yeah.
it's going to be an appointment.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can show up every call.
You can feel it in your voice and your energy and
Yeah,
everything that you
exactly.
bring to the table, right?
Yeah.
So awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You are consistently now pulling good numbers, setting 4 appointments this week, right?
Yeah.
If you're setting 4 appointments a week, dude, you're going to keep getting deals.
Okay, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Especially with the quality of your leads that you're now producing.
Right.
Every week, my gut feeling is different because now when I see one of your appointments on my schedule,
Yeah.
what you don't know
Yeah.
that only I would know.
Because I don't see this, yeah.
Okay, well, there isn't actually nothing to see.
Yeah.
It's a feeling. When you first started setting appointments, I get it. What do you think my feeling was? I always called the appointments.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But how do you think my gut feeling might have been initially of like, oh, maybe I was excited for you, and then I call, and a lot of appointments don't go so well,
They're
right?
not qualified.
And they're not qualified, they're not whatever. So when I start to see those, if let's say nothing ever changed,
Yeah.
and I started, and like you had 4 appointments for me this week,
You would dread those 4.
I would dread those 4. I'd be
Yeah.
like, I'm going to call them because I've committed, but the likelihood of them happening is so low.
Yeah.
They're just not good leads, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to say sub 2 and no, they want nothing
Yeah.
to do, like,
They're gonna
heck
run
no,
away.
sub 2. I don't even want to talk about sub 2,
Yeah.
right? Versus now I'm like, I see John, I'm like, I get excited. I'm like, dude, John's getting me some solid appointments. I'm like, am I going to want to be a little late to that appointment?
No.
No. My brain power, even if I might be a little bit, my brain's going to be like, I want to be as close to on time as possible.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes I like to be a few minutes late on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Believe it or not, it actually creates a certain environment, right?
Okay.
And I don't necessarily do it on purpose, but it does
But you
happen.
use
But it's
the
like,
benefit.
I use the benefit where it's like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Right? I'm busy. I'm helping people. I'm going from call to call or other appointments, etc. And it's like, hey, because do you want to work with someone that is busy and
definitely.
knows what they're doing, or do you want to call someone that's just been sitting there waiting to make that call,
Waiting for 5 o'clock.
and you're their
you know?
only call for the day?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, there's a different vibe.
Yeah.
Altogether. So, all right, awesome. So good job.
Thank
You're
you.
on the right track. I want to put that off to the side now that we've spoken about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And let's move on to this house.
Yeah.
Okay, this house in Albuquerque. Okay, so super quick recap, both
Yes.
for you and everybody watching.
Yeah.
Right? This is a house in Albuquerque that was being run as an Airbnb and midterm rental.
Yeah.
Okay. The seller, right, has some motivation. In this specific case, the seller was going through a divorce. They got behind on their payments, right, and they moved out of state.
Okay.
Now, there's a problem. They're about $20,000 behind in arrears
Right, I remember
on their
that, yeah.
payments. Okay, so is there motivation? Yeah. The house has also been sitting there, and the interest rate is 3.75%,
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
That's like almost half of what interest
Yeah.
rates are today.
Yeah.
Half. Okay. Now, the cool part is the market has also softened a little bit. So we were able to we are under contract to buy this house for the loan balance.
Okay.
Okay. Not what they were asking for. because
Right.
they were asking for a higher amount, expecting to pay realtor commissions, closing costs
Yep.
and stuff, and then still were hoping to make some money on top of that. We've eliminated all of those expenses because in this case, the seller is the listing agent.
Yes.
He's okay not paying himself anything. We're the buyer going unrepresented, so there are no agents involved.
Well, because what he would have used that money for was to pay the arrears.
Correct.
So I mean, he got
Yeah.
20K.
And well, right. And now on top of everything, that's the next part, right? So on top of all this other thing, it's if he didn't make, or he has to make 20 grand profit just to pay the arrears,
Yeah.
right? So he ideally wanted to make probably like 30,000,
Got
so he
it.
could take
Okay.
20, pay the arrears, still make 10,000
Got
after
it.
paying all the expenses.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're able to buy it for the loan balance, getting rid of all of that. So we're buying for the loan balance plus the 20,000 in arrears.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how we're buying it
For the loan balance by nature of sub 2.
by nature of sub 2. So we're going to keep that loan in place.
Yeah.
We're just going to take it over, right? Still going to be in his name. We get the benefit of a 3.75% interest, right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. The house we showed like 2 or 3 episodes ago, right? Pretty nice inside. Plenty of room to possibly do a co-living, but we could still do Airbnb, midterm, long-term rental. We could do it all.
Yeah.
Right? All of it's viable. I think long-term you only make like $100 though, so there's not a huge profit.
Okay.
But what a great backbone to know that we're not losing money in a long-term rental scenario.
Because worst case scenario, you could
Worst case scenario,
You're
you wanna
still
know-
making $100.
Yes, you want to know what your worst case scenario is, because if all stuff hits the fan,
Yep.
right? Hey, we don't want to be in a position where we're losing money,
Yeah.
right? That's a great investment when you can look at the worst
Yeah.
case scenario and be like, we're not losing money. Actually, we might make $100. We still get depreciation. It's still going to go up in value.
Yeah.
We could still make a ton of money with the house. You just wouldn't be also making cash flow every month.
Right.
Right?
Right. And in his situation, if we didn't come in and no one came in about sub 2, I don't think it would sell at whatever it was listed at.
Yeah, not at the list price.
That 30K, that's in a reality that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So he leveraged the financing itself to get a deal that's
To get him more
equitable.
and make it win-win.
Yeah.
And make it a reality, right?
Not just leveraging the house.
Correct. Not just
There's
the
another
house,
asset.
and that's the loan.
Yeah.
Right? So good for him, right? Good for us for bringing it and presenting it to him, but also
Right.
good for him for seeing that, understanding it, and taking advantage of it for him, right? Guys, these are win-win scenarios. He is super happy that we're doing this.
It's crazy. I mean, I could go into a whole nother episode about
I know,
this.
I
but
know.
yeah.
So with that said, okay, 2 things. One, let's talk real quick about the ways that you make money in real estate.
Yeah.
Okay, we just talked about cash flow,
Yeah.
right? Would we be wanting to buy this deal for cash flow? Well, if it's a co-living, it can cash flow really well. If it's a long-term rental, it's either break even or $100. We could do short-term, mid-term, and make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so cash flow is one reason you buy property,
Yeah.
to make money. Now, most of the time, unless you're making a lot of cash flow, you don't really get to keep your cash flow long term because things break, right? And one big air conditioning, new roof eats up a lot of that cash flow.
Yeah.
Okay, so for most people, there is cash flow as a reason, but for a lot of investments, cash flow really doesn't make you that much money. But so one reason you buy real estate is cash flow.
Yeah.
What's another reason? How else do you make money in real estate?
Appreciation. You could
Okay,
also,
which appreciation is what?
when the house raises.
When the house goes up
over
in
time.
value from the market.
Yeah.
Now, from the market or forced depreciation, which would be like flipping and remodeling.
If the ARV is so much higher than what we got it for, then throw some
Yeah.
granite on it or whatever.
Exactly. So
Cosmetic
you could
fixes.
force it up by doing renovations, or the market, in general, the market brings up values over time.
Yeah.
You might have to wait a while, but that's where a big chunk of money gets made, is with appreciation. How
Yeah.
else?
You could get depreciation off your taxes.
Okay, depreciation after taxes, which could be a lot, right? Now, it could also be nothing,
Yeah.
right? If you already have enough to write off your taxes, can you write off any more than
Then all of it.
already paying zero?
No. So there's no marginal benefit in that scenario
Yes.
in terms of depreciation.
So it depends on the person,
Yeah.
situation, right? And you can structure these different where you don't take it all right now and you could delay it and take it in future years.
Yeah.
Okay, so you should
Which
be
is the default, usually.
yeah.
I don't know.
So you can do lots with that. Okay, so depreciation, also really huge. Did you know, I mean, with a property like this, a lot of times you could save like $150,000 in taxes from this one house.
Crazy.
All of a sudden, if you were about to spend $100,000 on your taxes,
Yeah.
and you could buy this house for, like I said, for $20,000, wouldn't it be smart? Take out all the other options we're already talking about, like cash flow appreciation. Wouldn't it be smart to spend 20 to save 80?
Yes.
Maybe.
With more benefit as well.
With more appreciation,
Down the road.
possibly cash flow, etc. There's more benefits. Why
Yeah.
else might you buy a property that you can think of?
To make money, you mean?
Yeah. How else can you make money?
You could Airbnb it. You could rent it out.
Okay.
You could leverage it to put someone else in it.
Right? And let's keep that under cash flow. Okay?
Okay, got it.
So that would
Okay.
all be under cash flow. So you can make money every month, little by little, that's cash flow.
You could leverage it for a loan and
could
then use
leverage
that
it-
money elsewhere.
You could leverage it for a loan.
You know.
Interesting, yeah. You could take out money, right? Equity on that and loan it somewhere else
Yeah.
to do your own business
Yeah.
or to somebody else. That's a creative way. I like that you're thinking that way.
Okay.
One of the other big ones that people don't talk about all the time is loan pay down.
Okay.
Okay. Well, every month, how much loan pay down do you think we get more loan pay down benefit or less by having a lower interest rate?
I don't know. Loan paid. I don't even know what that is.
Oh,
Yeah.
love it. See, I should.
I mean, I probably know. I just
should
don't
word
know the
things
name.
better. Every time you make a mortgage payment, what's happening to the balance of your current loan? It goes down. So your loan pay down refers to the balance that you owe going down.
Yeah. Okay.
If that balance goes down and then you sell the house, do you make more money?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's equity.
Yeah.
Right? You're creating equity. So we can get equity by appreciation of the house going up.
Yeah.
We can get equity by paying the loan down.
Yeah.
Okay? So every single month, if we have a tenant in there, I don't care who we put in there. If somebody else is paying that loan, are
Yeah.
we making money even if we're break even on zero cash flow?
Okay. Yes.
Yes,
Because that's equity.
because that's equity.
Yeah.
We just don't get it each month in our pockets.
Yeah. You get it in bricks and mortar and house.
You get it in the house and you get to collect it eventually when you sell,
Yeah.
right? If you sell at the right time,
Right.
okay? You have potential equity is where that comes from.
Yeah.
Right?
It's definitely locked up. It's not like you're not
Same
buying
thing with,
groceries from
Same
it.
thing with
Yeah.
appreciation. Appreciation, you don't actually realize it
Yeah.
until you sell, but it's there.
Yeah.
Right? So, but most people miss out on that. Do you think we get more of that loan pay down benefit with a 3.75% interest rate, or do we get more at a 7 to 8%?
The lower the rate, the better, because it's like by far.
By far.
Like 1% is like huge in the payment if you go to a calculator and do
Right.
this.
So wouldn't it even make sense? I already said, wow, if we can make good cash flow on this, that could make it a good deal. Okay, got it. Well, number two, what if we bought it for appreciation? Okay, that could be a great deal because we think the market's going to go up, which it should. And even if you didn't make cash flow and you sold it and made 50, 100 grand, 5 years from now,
Yeah.
that could be cool.
Yeah.
Well, should we buy it just for depreciation?
You should do at least, you should do more than one of these.
More
Like,
than one
yeah,
just
yeah.
makes it better.
Yeah.
Okay? The guy that's buying the 2 houses from me this month for almost $0 in
Yeah.
and their higher interest rate, he's doing it for depreciation.
Right.
Because I gave you the example how if you buy a house, you can instantly save $100,000 on your taxes. That alone could be a reason. At the end of the year, I get a bunch of people, a bunch of investors that go out and literally will just buy houses for no other reason but to save money on taxes.
They want that in December.
Yep,
Whatever.
that
yeah.
exactly. They have to pull the trigger and make it happen
Yeah.
in December before the year's over, right?
Okay.
So a lot of times in November it starts happening because
Okay.
it takes
Yeah.
a couple weeks to
Yeah,
close,
yeah, yeah.
right? But they're doing it for that one reason. So your one reason could be cash flow. Your one reason could be appreciation. Your one
Yeah.
reason could be depreciation. Your one reason could be loan pay down.
Yeah.
Okay? But I love where your mind was. What if you can get all 4?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make it so much better of a deal? That's why real estate wins.
Yeah.
People say, oh, and don't get me wrong, I'm not
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to play
yeah.
hardly against playing in the stock market and all these other things, right? But when you do that in the stock market, all it is appreciation. It's
one method.
One method. Value goes up, possibly dividends.
No one else is cash flowing it for it. No one else is paying for it for you unless you're leveraged or something.
Correct.
But yeah.
Right?
Appreciation.
And on top of all of this, those are the 4 ways to make money. And we didn't even talk about the leverage of someone else bringing the money to actually pay for the house.
In the first place.
Yeah. Right? Just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Taking over that loan to buy this house at 3.75%, the bank has already provided the money.
Yeah.
Right? So, freaking, that's the power.
Yeah.
Super powerful. So now, John, with that said, let's talk a little bit more about the seed that I planted last week. Okay. We have this house. It's going to cash flow. If we do co-living, this thing might cash flow $1,200 to $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Could produce some really good cash flow. Check that box. Do you think it might appreciate?
It'll appreciate.
It will appreciate. You feel confident with that?
Yeah. I mean, give it
historical
just a 5-year time horizon and it'll appreciate.
Okay, so check that box.
Yeah.
Depreciation. Could you possibly use some depreciation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you had a property where it would save you money on taxes, you might like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 3, loan pay down. Do you think statistically 3.75% on this loan might be a good return on just getting loan pay down?
When someone else is also paying for it.
When someone else is paying that down for you?
Right.
Okay, so this deal seems to check all those boxes.
Right.
Okay, so my question to you, John, because we could sell this house to somebody else.
Yeah.
I might buy this house. Why are you not buying it? Or we could talk more about how else you could be involved in it.
Yeah.
How come you're not, so far, are not getting involved with this deal?
Yeah, so why am I not saying, Kyle, please, I want to buy this house, right?
Right.
It's because I have been told by the YouTube gurus, whatever. There's something in my head that says, don't buy your first deal outside a half-hour radius from where you are.
Oh, okay.
Something in my head.
Okay.
Like some YouTube, somebody taught me this.
Right. They tell you, make your first deal within a half hour of your house.
Yeah.
Right?
Some
Do you think people watching might feel the same way?
A lot of them might have heard
now,
that.
Now, it could be the rule because they heard it. But they also might, do you think there's a chance that some of them might feel that way just because they feel more comfortable?
Yeah. There is some arbitrariness to that, just random.
By being more familiar?
Yeah, it's a form of risk mitigation. Like, if something goes totally upside down, I'm half hour away. I'm not 7 hours away.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any other reason?
Because if we sell it to somebody, then I get cash now. And that's kind of nice.
Okay.
Because it's like a deal and cash and just feels good.
Okay.
Because it's an active income thing. It reinforces mentally to me what I'm doing. Like, I go out and make these phone calls. I get good appointments. And it turns into cash flow. And this is like repeatable and doable. So that feels good.
Okay.
To take the cash and run to the next deal.
Gotcha.
Do it again.
Okay. So the first one is, first thing possibly holding you back would be because you heard the rule and not being in your own backyard.
Right. Which, admittedly, this could be an arbitrary rule.
I
know you own houses in all these states over here. There's a list behind the cameras. That you're buying in all these areas.
Right.
So it's cool.
You're also familiar with, so you also know that it could be arbitrary and not necessarily matter.
Right.
But it's still there in your brain.
I know you own doors that you've never seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Houses I've never even been to.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then the second part is you would really like to get cash in your pocket, right?
Right.
Proof of concept type of thing.
Proof of concept.
Right? And I mean, who doesn't want more cash?
Right.
In their pocket.
But at the same time, on the back end of the cash, what am I going to do with cash? Stock market? Like, what am I going to do with cash? I'm going to put it in real estate.
Right.
Like, that's why cash exists.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it's a big reason.
So is it better to get cash and then go put that cash into a different deal, or do you just leave that cash almost in your?
Put it in my business account. Pay taxes on it. Bring it to personal. Put it. That's just like, what am I doing?
Yeah. You just want to make sure you get value. That value in exchange that you get could be cash.
Right.
It could be something else. Right. Okay.
Right. But both make sense to me.
Okay. What is there anything else?
That says don't.
Yeah. Is there anything else if I ask you, John, why are you not buying or participating in this deal? Is there anything else stopping you?
Oh yeah, there's just the one that comes to mind right now is the additional one is if I put cash in, or if I put if I get involved in this deal on the dispo side,
Yeah.
then another deal comes more locally. Maybe it's all other factors the same except it's local. That's cool. In fact, I would move in.
Okay.
You know, like
Did you just see you light up? I think
Yeah.
everyone needs to know you just lit up,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Okay. One, I think you really like the idea of moving into a next home, right?
Yeah, yeah.
In this type of manner and getting the benefits of a low interest rate, all this other stuff,
Yeah.
right? So I think there's part of that, and I think there's also bigger belief in investing in your own backyard than you necessarily give off
Okay.
by default, right?
Okay.
Subconsciously, at least.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Because I'm in the room with you, and you invest in places you've never been.
Exactly.
So it's interesting to me.
Very
yeah.
interesting. So I would, and that's a real thing. If you have money, right? Some people watching might have money as well, and it's like, oh, I got to invest this money, and then I go talk to them, a year later, and it's like, oh, I still got to invest this money
Still
because
sitting
it's been sitting there for a year and they haven't made any money on it,
Yeah.
right? But yet, they still want to. Maybe if this deal wasn't perfect, they go, oh, but that other house showed up, and now I want to be able to pull the trigger on that, but I put my money in the other deal.
It's locked up.
Now it's locked
in New
up, and now-
Mexico, 6 hours away.
and now
yeah.
I can't,
Yeah.
right? So there's true fear in that,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
True fear. So let's talk about those answers real quick,
Yeah.
okay? And I'm curious on how your thoughts and your responses are going to be to
Yeah.
some of this.
I've never been asked for this, so this is good.
Right. Okay. So the first one,
Okay.
okay? The first one was
Geography.
geography.
Proximity.
Okay. So let's talk a little more about that. One, you know that I already own a bunch of houses in all sorts of different states.
Definitely possible.
Okay. Now, what the word you used was mitigation. What do you think it mitigates? What risk does it mitigate?
I guess broken toilet, I can drive there. Like broken toilet, Albuquerque, I can't drive there.
Okay.
Maybe it's as simple as that. I don't know.
Okay. Well, the reality is yeah, like, okay, so then let's bring it down to money.
Okay.
Okay? Because everything can basically, it's an investment,
Yeah.
can be converted to money.
Yeah.
Okay? So if a toilet breaks
Yeah.
and you can go and do that yourself,
Yeah.
does that save you money?
Compared to.
Does the toilet have to
I
get fixed
can't
either
do it.
way?
Yeah, it has to get fixed either way. If I have to send somebody else to do it, because I'm not in
Yes.
Albuquerque physically, it might cost a little more.
Okay.
Like,
So
yeah.
okay, so there's a cost to it. Do you think it's astronomically more?
No, I don't.
So it'd be a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, by default, are you going to be the guy coming and being the handyman repairing it here?
In fact, here I might get somebody else anyway.
Okay. So if you were to get somebody else anyways here, is there a financial difference between the two?
I guess not.
Okay.
Maybe a quality control there. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know.
So you feel like, oh, you got the toilet, you could go drive there and inspect it and be like, But
Yeah.
is the plan to do that anyways?
To do it myself?
To either do it yourself or be the inspector on the job?
Not really.
If you buy a house, if you buy an investment and the toilet breaks,
I can put in a toilet. I've done it.
okay,
But do I want to? No.
I love this. You don't want to. So let's be real. Right now, you're not in a financial position where you would have to go do the toilet yourself.
No.
Right? So if you bought an investment property here, the toilet broke, you'd probably call a plumber
Right.
and have them go do it.
I probably wouldn't set foot.
And you probably wouldn't go look and be like,
Is
let
this
me
done
double check
correctly?
if they did the toilet
Yeah.
correct. You probably wouldn't do that. If your tenant's living in the
Fair.
house,
More than fair.
would you set a second appointment just for you to go walk the house and make sure that
I hope not.
okay. So let's say it what it is. You
Okay.
wouldn't do that in
Right.
your position right now.
Fair.
Okay.
Way fair. Yes.
So that exact scenario would be no different than owning a house in New Mexico and having the
Or
same exact thing do it.
Antarctica or
Because
whatever.
you're just doing it
Yeah.
over the phone.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. No benefit to you.
Fair. Yes.
Okay. Now, could there be other scenarios that maybe cost more or something where maybe you would go and do that and that makes you feel good?
The house burns down.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but house burns down. You're calling the insurance company. Are you rebuilding
Would
the
I show
house,
up
John?
anyway? Yeah. What scenario would I
Yeah.
physically show
Is
up?
there a scenario where you would show up or have to show up?
I would just go look at it and say, "Ah, it's my house."
Yeah. Does that really make you feel better?
For a minute, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more of a lie to yourself. The reality is we think it's psychologically that
Yeah,
makes us
totally
feel
is,
better,
yeah.
but that's only because we told us that
Yeah.
if I go look at this, I'll feel better.
Or whatever.
That's the only
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
why you feel better.
Yeah, because you'd always. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you still couldn't do anything about it.
If I live as far away as possible, that makes me feel better.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
That problem doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Okay? You can tell yourself whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay? So my point to you is there is some small benefit from relationships, in my opinion. Because if you
Okay.
have pre-existing relationships here
I know 3 plumbers right now.
that you could leverage to go get it done. So
yeah.
there might be a little bit of extra work of hoops you have to jump through, but you could 100% find the right people and get it done.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I can say this because I have invested here locally and I have invested, in all sorts of different states and other places.
Yeah.
Right? To where there is some small benefits.
Yeah.
But overall, if you're going to not do it yourself,
Yeah.
buying in your own backyard, I actually would argue will make a lot of people worse off than investing
Because it's more
somewhere
limiting.
else. Because they will limit themselves.
Yeah.
Because why? Because they will go to the house more often when they could be making more phone calls.
Yeah.
They will go check the toilet. They will be the one going and meeting the contractor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah.
They'll be the ones, the tenants have a problem. Let me jump over there. Let me go say hi. Let me build the relationship. Let me go collect the money because they're not paying rent.
Yeah.
When they shouldn't be doing any of that crap.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
So there's 2 types of investing.
Whether it's local or not.
Yeah, you will be way more tempted to be the one-stop shop for everything that your tenants need, and you'll be the one and done investor. Why do people go get one rental property and they go, "Oh my gosh, that was the worst experience
Because they
of my life"?
exhaust themselves doing what I might do if it's local. If
So
it's within 30 minutes.
So if I get you to buy something out of state, am I actually protecting you from yourself?
Yes. You're my real estate guardian angel.
Am I really? I'm not really trying to get you to do anything. But,
but yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it an interesting point?
It is, yes. No,
Okay.
I love exploring this, especially with an expert. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
it's an interesting point. I'm actually saving you from possibly being your worst enemy
Yeah.
and becoming a one and done investor.
Yeah.
You go get your one, you're like, toilets, tenants, and termites. I
Right,
hate
right,
investing.
Right. I hate being a landlord.
I hate being a landlord. Yeah, that's why, because you made yourself do all the crappy things that these other landlords are doing, rather than just hiring it out because the budget paid for it all and let your tenants pay for it, and then your money just came to you, and all you had to do was worry about bigger problems, bigger questions that came up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I just got an email from one of my co-livings in Atlanta. One of our tenants, like all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, a room just got booked." I was like, "Oh, did a tenant leave?"
Yeah. Yeah. Luxurious question, because
Yeah, I was like,
you don't know.
"Oh, that's interesting. A tenant must have left, and
Yeah.
we already got it filled. I didn't know a tenant
Before
left.
you knew.
I didn't know we needed a filling. Now I know we're already getting one,
Yeah.
which just sounds great to me.
So there's people on the ground, or who
There's
like a
people on the
management
ground
company,
ground
something?
already taking care of all that.
Yeah.
And then now am I going to go look on my every month when I get my report and I look, it's like, "Oh, okay, statistically how are we doing? Okay, cool. Yeah, a little bit of turnover here. That's fine. That's always going to be the case. I'm getting a great return. Looks like everything's going well." Did I
Next.
need to fret and worry about a tenant leaving,
Right. Right.
especially in co-living because it was one of 8?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't even need to know about it.
Yeah.
If I didn't see that email, I wouldn't even know about it. So that's the first topic, right? We'll
Yeah.
move through a few of these real quick now. Okay. Now that we've talked about it, how do you feel about investing here or out of state?
They're both virtual anyway.
Okay.
Like they're both similar anyway.
So for you right now, there's not a wrong answer. I'm not telling you still can't desire to invest here first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you feeling now, right? Do you feel like your first investment still needs to be local here?
No, but I thought of something else.
Okay.
Like an irrational thing. It could be irrational. Is let's say I have an investment house locally. Let's just, for illustration's sake, let's say it's right next door to my house that I currently rent. Right? I said that in episode 1.
Right.
So if my landlord makes the decision, which he could, he said, "Hey, you guys are out in 30 days."
Yeah.
What he wouldn't do that because there's no incentive to do that. But if there became some crazy, or if he
jerk
dies
move,
or
but
something, yeah. What if he dies eventually, and his kids say, "Hey, you got to be out," whatever. That's a real. I'm exposed to that, technically.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move in next door.
Except for next door, you already have tenants in it.
I'll give them the same notice that he gave me. But I do have a lag time of like.
That's if you have 30-day notice written into your lease.
Which I would, yeah. Well, after the year.
After the year.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
if you're on month to month with your landlord and they tell you, even if you're not on month to month and you're on a year lease, what's the likelihood that your lease for the house next door is going to be on the exact same to the day cycle?
Well, okay. So let's say it's 12 months, right? Let's say worst case scenario, I have 12 months. So he gives me 30 days. They just went on a 12-month next door. Just saying, so I'll be out. So I'll live in a dumpster for 11 months. I don't care, whatever.
Okay.
And then I'll move into my house.
Well, if it's that easy to go live in a dumpster or wherever you're going to find housing, why can't you just stay there in that housing instead?
Because it's more expensive than renting what I rent now. I'm subsidized by my relationship because he likes us.
Gotcha. So wherever you go is going to be more expensive.
Right.
Than what you're paying now.
Right.
But if you kick out your tenants, you don't get the cash flow, the appreciation, the depreciation, or the loan pay down benefit anymore.
Right.
So if you add all that up, could that possibly be more than the difference of you just going and spending higher rent somewhere?
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah. So by default, you come in thinking mathematically, the smart move would be to move into the other house.
Right. Or just like safety wise, like because right now I'm technically homeless. I don't own a home. So with that, I would have a home. It's like feels good.
Sure.
Oh,
You already own a home that you can somewhat control.
Yeah.
So you're like, is there a world? Why be homeless with my family at least long term? No, because I could kick them out and go move into this house.
Right.
But one could also argue that that's also made up. That safety feeling is made up because
it's a what if.
Well, because do you think that are there not so many homes out there that are for rent that you would not be able to find a home to rent?
No, there's homes for rent.
There are homes for rent.
Yeah.
Okay, so you actually being homeless isn't a real fear. Right? 2, even with the higher expense, can you afford the higher rent? You might not want to, but can you afford the higher rent?
Yes.
Okay, so the homeless and not being able to find a home is not the real fear. Isn't it just math?
It's math.
It's math.
The rent.
Okay, do you see why I ask these questions? It's
yes.
just math. So if it's math, shouldn't you go do the math and find out which way you would actually benefit more? Because if it benefits you more to keep that other property as an investment and not move into it, wouldn't it be smarter to go rent another house for more money than what you're currently paying?
Yes. Or just wait for another deal. I mean, do both.
Or do both. If you get another deal, if another deal comes along that you can move into, great.
Yeah.
Right? That's just that might be an option
New factor.
that presents itself. That would still go under leaving the investment alone.
Right.
Make sense? Whether it's right next to you or whether it's in New Mexico.
New Mexico, yeah.
Right? Either way, you're leaving the investment alone.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're just going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? If it happens to be another house you're going to buy, cool. If it happens to be somewhere that you're going to go rent for 6 months or a year because you have another investment that you're going to buy and move into, great. That's like extra details.
Which is more likely, by the way, because I'm not going to stop. Why would I stop at 1?
Why would you stop at 1 when you can see it's such a big benefit?
Right.
Why wouldn't you get your money? What I'm basically trying to open your eyes up to is, since we've been working here, some of your money has probably been sitting there.
Yes.
Right? So shouldn't it be getting you a return? Let alone you're talking about, I want my money to be here local for this benefit that I could then save money if this and this and this and this happened. Or I could put my money to work right now, start making money, and I might even make more money before anything like that would ever happen. That could massively offset all of that risk.
Right.
In fact, not doing it is putting myself in the biggest risk of all.
Oh, yes. Because then the cash just sits there. Doing nothing, by the way. Right. Like it's in a lot of it is sitting in a settlement account. It's like a high yield savings account, basically.
Exactly. So
in terms of
earning.
earning.
So let's be real. Ultimately, everything you've said, I want you to go home and think about
Yeah.
your feelings on this. Are they just artificial feelings?
Oh yeah, yeah. A
It
lot
sounds
of
like
yeah.
it sounds like all my questions have come down to that it's just artificial.
And it's fun to get them to bubble up,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Because a lot of us probably think the same, me and the viewers, like
Yeah.
these same random fears that we don't even know about until
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
talk
Okay.
about it.
So that was the first reason you didn't want to. What was the second one?
Yeah, proximity, locking it up.
Locking up your money.
Yeah, locking up
Okay,
money.
let's talk about that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I lock up the money in a house, then I don't have enough for the next house, which might be better. Whatever.
Okay. So
Right.
potential opportunity cost.
So if you isolate it to certain factors, then yeah, it becomes in certain scenarios, I'm nixing a possibility because of to save a possibility that does not exist.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep, exactly. So with opportunity cost, right? You go and do this, but what's the cost of doing that?
real
Is
cost.
is a real cost of not being able to do that, right?
Right.
But understand there's opportunity costs on both ways.
That's hence the bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Exactly.
At least two. In
Right?
the bush.
So it's like, okay, oh man, I don't know if I want to do that because there could be a better deal that's coming, or gosh dang it, by choosing to not do that because of the possibility here, I also chose to not do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guaranteed lose out this one for a possibility of losing out something that doesn't exist yet,
Right.
right? So logically, that doesn't make too much sense. If the deal is mediocre or bad, it makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
right? Based on deals that are coming to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if it's
but
like-
it's not.
But they're not.
Yeah.
So if those
Yeah.
deals aren't there, well then the chances of that deal coming, you don't know how long it's going to be before the opportunity comes.
Right, right.
And mathematically, like we keep talking about, this other way could make so much more sense, right?
Yeah.
Because time is money,
Yeah.
right? So I want you to think about that one,
Yeah.
okay? Because for example, and it probably depends. In a perfect world, how much money would you want to invest in real estate right now?
Like right now.
Yeah,
100,
you're gonna want to keep
150.
some money for other stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like if there was a deal locally here, how much would you want to?
One deal.
Yeah, one deal.
I don't know, 30?
30
per
okay.
deal.
And if there was,
But I would want more than one deal.
okay, and then how many deals then? So, gotcha. So 30. Let's just get to the total.
4 to 5 deals.
4 to 5 deals.
Of 1 to 150.
Okay.
Total.
So say you want to spend $100,000 to $150,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So one, and you already gave your slight answer is you think, okay, if 30 grand to 50 grand or something is a reasonable amount for one deal.
Yeah.
So you could get anywhere from 3 to 5 deals,
Yeah.
right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Or worst case scenario, 2 deals if the return was really good, right? It could divvy out however,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So in this case with this co-living deal, do you remember how much money?
The New Mexico
The
one.
New Mexico
Yeah.
deal, okay? Do you remember how much money would be to get in?
Uh,
What do we have to pay for?
20 and a little bit.
20, right?
Yeah.
And closing costs,
Yeah.
right? So that'd be our absolute minimum to get in.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there could be there's probably gonna be a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say still 25 to 30 grand
Yeah.
is to buy the house. If we're talking ownership,
Right.
buying.
Yeah.
Okay. Now if we're going to do the co-living side, there's probably another 30 grand in renovations.
At least, right?
right?
Depending on how many.
Yeah. Now
beds we
going
wanna
through
add.
those pictures though, some houses need a lot more work. This house, the rest of the house is great.
Yeah.
We literally just need to add the bedrooms.
Yeah.
That's walls, right? And it's even inside, so there's not even like AC and we don't need extra units, things
Yeah.
like that. So I think 30 grand actually should easily cover that, I would
Yeah.
think. Okay? So that means if purchase is 30 and the renovation is 30, that means say 60 grand.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, to get into the deal and put it in its most profitable position.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're wanting to invest 100 to 150,000, 60, let's just say that doubling that would put you at 120. That's in the middle of your range.
Yeah.
That would allow you to still do two. You could do 2 deals just like that,
Yeah.
right? And that would be if you did that, that could be either ownership or lending.
Yes.
Okay.
Because either way, the money is doing something. Yeah.
Either way, the money's doing something.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you didn't want to be as committed, you would want to be a private money lender, and it'd be like, oh, let me go ahead and put the $60,000 in. That allows I'm gonna like, and that would be like, let's say I gave you 12 like, I guess I gave you that number. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wanted to know in your head,
Yeah.
what would you say would be a good return on your money?
As a lender,
Yes.
so like a hard money type situation.
Or any type.
So it's going to be more than 6. Like,
Yes.
you know, more than whatever the market's at right
Yeah.
now for a mortgage rate. 10 above,
So if you were making 10% on your money, you feel good.
maybe. Yeah, I guess I'd have to do my homework. Yeah.
Okay. So I would advise you, this is great. Anyone else watching too, go do your homework. Know what type of return you want to get on your money.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say a lot of times I'll give even 12% on
Okay.
some of my on people that would loan me money.
Yeah.
Okay. For these type of projects.
Yeah.
So
Well, because at 10, I guess I could just throw it in S&P 500.
Sure.
Over
sure.
5 years, and
right.
I'm getting 10%.
Yeah. Now the benefit of this is even if it was the same at 10%, you're also backed by real estate.
Yeah.
In this way.
Yeah.
Versus just in the S&P 500 or stocks, right? Like that
Yeah,
could be money lost.
they
Now you
could
could
take a
still
dip right
you
when
could
I
still
need
lose
it.
money
Yeah.
in real estate,
Yeah.
right? But let me ask you this: with all the numbers that we've already talked about with this Albuquerque deal,
Yeah.
when you lend, I always tell people lend to own, okay, as like the ultimate backup,
Okay.
right? So let's say you lent me the money, things went to crap,
There's a lien on it.
there's a lien on it, correct? And I couldn't pay you.
Yeah.
So then you could foreclose and take the house.
Right.
Okay. So worst case scenario would be you become the owner of the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Loan to own.
Now, does this house, based on the money it makes, all the benefits we've already talked about today, would that be a horrible situation for you?
No, because the entire strategy we just talked about is now a backstop.
Yes.
Not even the main thing.
It's not even the main thing. It's the backstop. Exactly. So that would you argue that that would be a better investment at the same rate than
Sure.
going to the stock market?
Sure, yeah.
Right? Because now you get to take the house, and now you're going to get not just that 10% return. It would be the appreciation, depreciation, all of that other stuff.
Yeah, in
Right?
the event of a failure.
In the event of a failure.
Yeah.
Exactly. So interesting, right? So I would say I give usually 12%. So one thing I would say, go think about it, run your numbers, because one option you could do is you could be the private money lender for this job.
Yeah.
You could come in with the $60,000 and make 12% on your money.
60, so 30 for getting into the house, 30 for reno, right?
Yep.
And then take a 12.
Exactly.
I see,
You know,
yeah.
and so I mean, and I haven't ran the numbers perfectly.
Right,
I'm
whatever
just
it
giving you a
is, yeah.
theoretical example right now, right?
Yeah.
But let's say it's that. It's like, oh, okay, cool. You could start literally by the closing date. You could start making 12% money on 60,000.
When is the exit on a lending
Okay.
situation?
Great
on
question.
that, you know?
Yeah. So totally negotiable. So now it's like, oh, okay. In a perfect world on a project like this, it wouldn't be 6 months or a year ideally.
Yeah.
It would be, okay, hey, let's put it in a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Right? Now, it depends. You could structure it as interest-only payments,
Yeah.
where it's like, hey, you're getting your profit, and then you want to get paid out at some point, and I bring in I refinance you out.
Right.
I wouldn't refinance the whole thing because I don't want to give up 3.75% mortgage.
Right.
But I could refinance by getting another private money lender to come in and replace your money.
Right. You're not talking about refinancing the mortgage.
Just the second
You're talking
lien.
about refinancing the entrance.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I could do that, right? I could also not just pay you interest only. I could say, hey, you know what? I'm going to put more of my profit into paying down some of your principal.
Right. So
Right?
instead of interest only and then principal at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Rather than say, hey, I still owe you your full principal in 3 years from now.
Yeah.
I could say, hey, I'll pay you a little bit each month, so I'm slowly just paying you down. And now
Yeah.
you're making good money plus getting your principal back.
Yeah.
Or any combination, right? You could create all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So lots of choices. There could be, and then you're like, oh, well, why does timeline matter? If I'm making good money on 12%,
Yeah. Leave it there.
you leave it there. So I also get other people, it's like, oh, I tell them, hey, it's time for your money. They're like, I don't want my money back.
They just want to.
They want to
ride
extend it and put it onto something else, right?
Yeah.
So that's what happens pretty confident, right? And especially if you're private money lending, because it's
Yeah.
like, why pull my money from here making 12% just to go make 12% over here, right? Now
Right.
I'm creating more risk and moving my money around. Now, if you want to be buying something else, the cool part is you could invest 60, still have 60 to 80 to
Yeah.
$90,000 that you still want to invest, so you could still have the benefit of both worlds.
Yes.
So what I don't get mathematically
Yeah.
is why hold off? Do you really think a deal's going to come that where you need to spend a whole 150?
Probably not. No.
So it would make logically more sense to completely get rid of that fear of missing out on a deal by why not get 60 grand of your money working for you immediately?
Yeah.
So then you could still pull the trigger on something else. I would argue that I would put all 100, 120, 150 grand to work right away.
Yeah.
And then because now, well, what's 12% on 60,000?
No idea.
Okay. 10% would be what? 6,000?
Yeah. So
right?
a little over 6.
So actually 12%, that would be on, if you loan me 60,000, that'd be a $600 monthly payment to you.
Okay.
Every month.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you did 2 of those, you could be getting $1,200 a month of income coming in right now.
Yeah.
Okay. If you need to buy another deal shortly, $1,200 a month.
After a year.
You have $14,000, rough estimate, in profit in the next 12 months. If you waited a year to get that money to work, you just lost $14,000.
Yeah, opportunity cost. Yeah.
Opportunity cost. So in the next 12 months, if you don't buy another deal here locally, right, you should have all that money where you get 14 grand. That's at least half of another deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So take that and turn it into, wait a year, 2 years.
And even if you had
depending on the deal,
you go invest this money, you're getting that $1,200 a month coming in. Couldn't you technically go borrow money from something else you have?
Yeah.
To go, if let's say the timing doesn't perfectly align.
Yeah.
Couldn't you go borrow money from somewhere to make your purchase happen? Let's say the perfect house for you came up.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh.
And my 120's locked up.
And you're like, my 120's locked up.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it. I'm 30,000 short, 40,000 short. Couldn't you go borrow money to make sure that that deal happens?
Right. Hard money loan, anything.
And then start anything. Yeah. And then start lining up the exit of one of the 2 deals to then pay that off?
Right.
Because should you make all of your adjustments based on timing being perfect? Because what's the chances of timing being perfect?
No, it's not going to be perfect. But nothing's going to be perfect before you start this stuff.
Nothing,
Yeah.
Because was now the perfect time to start investing, or was it 5 years ago?
It's the second best time.
Yeah. The first best time is always now.
Yeah.
It's always doing something now that you weren't doing before.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I'm telling you.
And then with a lending situation, you don't get the depreciation. You don't have ownership.
Nope.
Unless the lien kicks in, I guess, which I doubt it would.
Yeah, that'd be worst case.
Taxes, right? Taxes on that type of income, which I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know what that is.
But you have tax on any income.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, sometimes. Yeah.
Most income.
Yeah, most income.
But if you get depreciation, what if you buy that second deal and you use that depreciation? What if you loan on the first 60,000 and then you buy with the second 60,000?
Yeah.
You get depreciation and that offsets the income of the other one.
It could, yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it could.
Okay. Have I got your wheels turning, John?
They're turning. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And ultimately, if I talk myself into one of them, it's gonna take me it's gonna take me longer than I have before the deal has to happen. You know what I mean? So I'll make whatever decision has to be made, and then I'll just guess what? There's gonna be more deals.
Oh my gosh, there's gonna be so many more deals.
And it might not be in New Mexico. It'll be in.
Does it have to be a deal that you found, John?
No, it doesn't.
Or could it be any deal that I find or anybody else finds?
It could be any. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but just with the deals that I find, there will be more lined up.
Yeah, even just with that.
On final approach, like the airplanes coming in, they keep coming in.
And as you've added doing something now to your life that you weren't doing before, that's going to be making you money.
Right.
That very quickly could be making you $1,200 a month profit.
Right.
Right. Pretty crazy.
Right.
Let alone we would still structure it in a way because you help find the deal, you still need to get paid.
Right.
Just because you become the private money lender for a deal doesn't mean you don't get paid for the hard work that you've already done.
It's a different thing.
It's a different service.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. Because here I'm thinking this or this or this.
I'm sure making your mind turn.
You are making my mind turn.
Okay, which was my goal of the whole
thing. Which is the whole show, by the way.
Which is the whole show. Which we should wrap up here. Guys, if you like these types of episodes, like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell us what you want in the comments down below.
Start.
If you want John to freaking put his money to work, Leave that in the comments down below. Say, John, get some.
This many comments and
Huevos.
I'm committed. Yeah, get some huevos and do the deal. Give me 5 thumbs up and we'll just do it.
If it's not this one,
Yeah.
it'll be another one. But
Yeah.
John, I'm glad I've had so much fun and we got your wheels turning. Mission accomplished.
Cool.
On to the next one, guys.